already in the final week of August, which is week 35. Yeah, I finished Shatterproof, which is Shatter and Shock, #1 by Xavier Neal. Now, I thought I needed to read Bulletproof to understand Shatterproof. It gave good context. However, you don't need to read the books back to back. It's a nice introduction, but you don't necessarily have to feel Xavier's sort of world building on this. Giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans. Had it as an arc. I do believe it's either out or coming out really soon. This is a Black author. This is best friends to lovers, slow burn, protection situation going on. We have Slater, who is a rescue and recovery specialist as well, and he takes the assignment to he doesn't take the assignment. He takes an assignment to protect Arlie, who has been his rescue and recovery specialist. So she works in the office, he works in the field, and the two of them have been friends for like a long time. They have feelings for each other, but they hide their feelings because workplace romance, right? But then Arlie ends up getting taken, but or is actually threatened, and she ends up in the hospital. She has some disabilities, synesthesia, and she has some special needs and things like that that only, Slater knows and understands and loves her for them. And the two of them have their own like language, and I just loved it. We have some douchebag characters, we have a stalker, and this ends on a cliffhanger. So I did not know this when I read this as an arc. Okay. So when I got to the last page, I was like, what? No, we are not stopping like this. What? And then I did this TikTok.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
Yeah, so there's that. The next book that I finished was Santino De Luca. This is part 2 of the Savage Bloodline series, where Kenya is writing in. Kenya Wright is writing in. This is an interracial romance. Mafia, giving it 4.5 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans. Had it as an ebook through KU, Black author. This has content warnings for cannibalism, for Black American history, for some really, really uncomfortable situations, but needed history to be told in a fictional world. We have Kashmir. It picks up right where the last part ended. And the last part didn't end with a huge cliffhanger. It left you wanting more, and Kenya is now giving us more. And this one actually ends off in somewhat of a I want more situation going on too. So I'm like, are we getting the part 3, Kenya? But Kashmir and Santino are planning their wedding. She is the head of the killer, queen of the killer crows. He is the De Luca that is handling the area. There are other syndicates and gangs that are in the area of their like location, and they have to deal with that. There have been some murders that were unknown, and they're undoing that mystery of why those people were murdered, who murdered them, and how to deal with those murders. And yeah, it's really good. It definitely leaves you on a I could use some more from the series, but at the same time it gives some closure. The next book that I finished was Bittersweet Heart, which is Lies, Hearts, and Truths #2 by H. Hunting, also known as Helena Hunting. This is her sports romance new adult series that she has been doing, giving it 4.5 stars, giving it 3.5 Steam fans. Had it as an audiobook, but also had it through KU as an ebook. There is content warning for mental health, for age gap, for domestic violence, for sexual assault, for anxiety, for PTSD, for stalking, divorce. So we have Maverick, we have Clover. Maverick and Clover meet on the river during the summer at Maverick's summer home, who is like a hockey. He's not a hockey prodigy. He is, but he's not a slump when it comes to hockey. The family is all about hockey. He's possibly going into the NHL, you know, when he gets out of college after he finishes and things like that. So there is that going on. So he's at the family summer home, and Clover is there, or that their home, what have you, where he's living during college. And Clover is there, and he wakes her up on the river, kind of dunks her, gets her wet. They have a one-night stand, but come to find out she is a visiting professor in one of the classes that he is taking. And they don't do anything, which I really enjoyed about this, until after he has left. After he's gotten out of her class, then they kind of pursue their relationship. But moreover, the story is about him finding himself and dealing with some of the past traumas that he has had, because Helena has done this huge thing with the worlds of her hockey series. So you have the Puck series, which are the parents of the guys and young ladies from the Lies, Hearts, and Truths series. But you also have some of the parents from the, I don't know which one it is. It's the books are A Lie for a Lie, things like that. So all of those stories are connected. Those are the parents, right, of these characters in this book. So you'll see them throughout. You will hear about them. So if you haven't read those series, you may find yourself like, oh, who's this parents? Who's this whatever? But I love that, you know, they still get cameos and they still get introductions. They're still very much part of their kids' lives, and dealing with the traumas that they have had and understanding. Oh, it was so beautiful. Like, this is, yes, you have the romance between Maverick and Clover, but you also have Maverick dealing with his, you know, issues. Clover dealing with her divorce, that douchebag freaking husband that doesn't want to let her go, and, you know, things that she's dealing with. So there is lots and lots of talk about mental health and dealing with those things, dealing with your emotions, dealing with your feelings, dealing with just the bad things. And it was done beautifully. I loved it. I loved it. The next book that I finished was Rough, K&K Matchmaking Agency, written by Jade Royal. This is a erotic novella, giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 4.5 Steam fans. Had it as an ebook through KU. This is a rough play, so content warnings for rough play situation, consensual BDSM. Is this one? I think that's it. So we have Lauren, we have Salt. Lauren is okay, so Salt is a single dad, but his child is in Lauren's daycare, which she is like the admin for, or the administrator for. They have that connection there, but that doesn't come until later on. You don't know that. Lauren is going through a dry spell, so she ends up using a card that is left for her to pursue her fantasies and fix that dry spell. So there is that. Did enjoy that story. Then I finished the week off by reading a couple novellas of The Wolf of Wall Street, Shifter Escapes, #2 by Lucy Eden. This is a paranormal shifter romance. Giving it 4.5 stars, giving it 3.5 Steam fans. Had it as an ebook, Black author. Loved it. It's sort of a sweet little take on Beauty and the Beast. We have Aurora, who works for Lewis. Lewis is this like grumpy guy. He doesn't leave his penthouse. He doesn't leave his business. His like home is on top of his building. Aurora has been the only sort of EA that has been able to take Lewis's shit, and I loved it. I loved it. The care that Lewis ends up taking for Aurora in some of the moments was just like, lovely, lovely, lovely. And it was so sweet. So sweet. So sweet. Then I read Preteen Wolf, which is Shifter's Escape #3 by Lucy Eden. This is a paranormal romance shifter novella. This is Christmas in August. So good. So good. So if you have read the Escape series, the Shifter Escape series by Lucy Eden, you know that there is this kind of getaway resort for shifters, and giving this one 4.5 stars, giving it 3.5 Steam fans. Ebook KU, just ebook, not KU. Black author. So we have John, who is a recent widower, and he goes to kind of find himself to spend Thanksgiving and Christmas with some shifters at this resort made for shifters. And then we have Megan and Bradley, who just lost their father. Well, her husband, their father. He is a shifter cub and preteen type thing, and she thinks that he has been isolated too long since the death of her husband, and wants him to kind of be around some shifters. Well, they're double booked at the same cabin, and let's just say Bradley doesn't take John very well in the beginning, but then understands, and then glorious, just meshed, mixed family blended turns, and so sweet and just beautiful, and I really, really enjoyed it. Whew, that was not the rest for the week. Okay, so then I picked up Just for the Cameras by Vino Onoe, I think it is. This is erotica. I DNF this at 46%. I'm giving it 3 stars. It's a 5 Steam fan read, so if that's what you are looking for, it feels like 5+. Ebook KU, Black author. There are content warnings. Read the author's page, author's note for that. We have Kyan, we have Jordana, and the two of them are a couple. They are sex workers, but also hold other jobs. They do amateur porn on the internet, and then they have a best friend and also roommate, Luca, who is a photographer, and they have been fantasizing about him. He has been fantasizing about them, and they end up doing a couple scenes together for their work. That is what the story starts you out as, and pretty much is the only thing. Luca has some other things going on with his ex that you don't really understand. Like, I didn't get that dialogue. So this book is 362 pages. I read 152, I believe it was. And out of those 152 pages, I think there was maybe only 20 pages worth of non-sexual content. Let me say that again. Out of 152 pages, only 20 pages had non-sexual content. So, I was not going to spend another 150 pages on them having sex. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. This just was not for me. So there's that. Then I picked up The Fireman's Dilemma, which is Mile High Firefighters #3 by Mariah Aikman. This is a firefighter romance, giving it 4.25 stars. 3.5 Steam fans had it as an audiobook. This is a content warnings for grief, for secret crush, for workers romance, workplace romance. That's what I was getting at. Workplace romance. Corruption, or not corruption, competition. So we have Diaz, or Stephanie Diaz, and Eli Ward, who are firefighters at the same firehouse. I have been wanting their story for a long time. You could feel their sexual chemistry throughout the other two books in the series, and I'm so happy that we got this. I like the way that Mariah ended up giving them a competition show where they were kind of forced proximity and had to be in the same situation or same area and be on as a team and deal with teamwork while they were falling in love and admitting their chemistry, admitting their feelings and things like that. So I loved that aspect of this book. They're in a competition for firefighters, for first responders. That is a televised show that does like daily shows or something or another, or weekly shows, something. But they had competitions, and throughout the story, you see them falling in love, and I was here for it. Then the final book that I read, which wasn't those other two novellas that I talked about, was Bargaining with the Enemy by A.R. Williams. This is a interracial romance. Gave it 4.25 stars. Giving it for Steam fans, had it as ebook through KU. This is a Black author. There are content warnings for a love square, for fake dating friends to lovers, enemies, best friends, lots of different situations going on here. So we have Yvonne, who is in love with her best friend, and we have Damien, who is in love with his best friend, but those two best friends are engaged and are supposed to get married. Yvonne and Devin do a sort of my best friend's wedding on top of my best friend's wedding. So they go on this sort of pre-cruise before, or like engagement cruise type thing. Damien ends up paying for it. He's like this billionaire. Yvonne has this sort of reputation of hit it and quit it, going through men like there is no tomorrow. And Damien is this kind of cold kind of guy. He wants this, he initially says he wants this goody two shoes sort of situation for a wife. He's looking for someone that's going to be a wife, that's going to be a mother, that's going to be this and that and da 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 da. Yvonne's like, nah, I'm good. I don't need all that. I can get what I need and keep it moving, keep pushing. Well, they end up in the same cabin, and they made up the story of, hey, we're in this relationship too. We just didn't want to, hide your shine or dim your light while you guys are engaged, and we don't want to dim your light, so we didn't tell you about our relationship. Yeah, but then they end up into a relationship. So the first part was real rocky. I was not down for this love square. I was not down for Yvonne and Damien trying to break up the other two characters. I was like, what? No. And at one point, Damien ends up saying, this is the only reason I'm doing this, is so that I can break them up, so that I can have her. And I'm just like, bruh. But throughout the story, as it unfolds, I find that I ended up liking Yvonne and Damien together, and their fake dating ends up being more. And I was just like, yes, thank you very much. That is how that should have, like, why did you make me wait so long? But I'm excited to read the other two books in this series, because I think they're going to be interesting. I think they are going to be very, very interesting. So, woo! Oh my goodness. If you have stayed this long, thank you. Thank you for like hanging with me for all 3 of those weeks. If you didn't notice, week 34 was hella big because I was doing lives. The pool that I work at was having maintenance, so I didn't work that entire week. So I was taking kiddo to school, and then I was getting on live, and I was reading books, and I was getting like 2 or 3 books done. Yes, they were novellas, but hey, I was getting books done. So I ended up reading 17 books that week, which you guys saw in this review. So yeah, there is that. I think that is all. I'm gonna get out your faces now. As you can see, I redid my hair. I love it. I love this color. I love it. I can't stop touching it. It is so cute. It was a lot of work to braid all the way down. But I think from now on, that's what we're doing. That is what we're doing. Do I have something random? Yes. That's exactly what we're going to do. We are braiding the hair from now on. Other than that, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, there's a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. My link is down there so you can link up with all the socials, things like that. Timestamps, so if you want to jump around, certain weeks you wanted to watch, things like that. And I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in another video. Bye.